I signed my life away for 6 years. Definitely a turning point in my life, and I don't regret it because I wouldn't probably be here where I am right now if it wasn't for the Air Force. If you're in the limbo part of your life, I call that like the phase where you're kind of struggling to like, how do I describe it? You don't really have any direction, but you know you need to meet ends up here and make something happen down here, but it's just not connecting, it's not flowing. I'm telling you, the best thing you do is join the military. I know it sounds crazy, but have a seat and listen to what I have to say. I think I was like 19. Hold on. Got to get some research. I joined, I think, at like actually 20 years old, about entered the DEP program, which is basically like you waiting to get shipped off to basic training. I joined, what happened? No, I went to basic training in March of 2021. Why do I have my dates all messed up? That's what happens after COVID. I joined in March 2017. Okay, so I left for basic training in March of 2017. And already I'm on the plane like, I just know my life about to change. Because I actually come from, I come out of a family that's basically full of military, Army. I don't think we have any Marines, but it's mostly Army and Air Force. Yeah, no Navy, I don't think. But anyway, I joined the Air Force and I'm like, okay, I know my life's gonna change because I hear all these stories about people, oh, they pay for this and this, I got all these benefits. And I primarily was joining for school anyway. So I'm like, whatever. But the gag is, I was security forces. Yeah, they got me. I signed for 6 years instead of 4. So I'm like, and my thought process at the time with the recruiter was like, 6 years should be enough to get my life together. In which it kind of did, because at my 4-year mark, around 2020 is when like the economy was like going down as it is now. The economy was trash. COVID was happening. George Floyd stuff was happening. It was a whole bunch going on. And I was like, at the point, and I was like, I was a senior airman, and I was like, ooh, I think I want to get out. I want to go reserve so I can finish nursing school. Because when I was in college, I was doing prereqs for nursing school. And I just didn't feel like taking out any more loans. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I was on the plane like, ooh, I know my life's gonna change, da 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 da. I got to my base. I was at Barksdale, Louisiana, and I really loved it when I first got there. I loved the people that I was around. Like, I kind of feel like 2017 to 2020 was a time. It really was. It was a time. It was fun. But I still was trying to get my business done. And of course, the military is not for everybody. It's not everybody's first option. It wasn't my first option. I was a senior in high school and people just kept throwing the military in my face because they felt that I didn't have the grades to make it to like big colleges at HBCUs. They kept saying, oh, you're gonna end up at community college. There's nothing wrong with community college. It's cheaper. And I think I went for about 1.5 to almost 2 years until I decided, okay, I guess I might as well go and join the military, because at the time I was working full-time at a fast food place, Steak and Shake. Yeah, I was working full-time at Steak and Shake, and I was going to school full-time, and then I was like sharing a car, so I was having to take the train and the bus to get to work and back and forth, and it was just a lot on me as a 19-year-old. Yeah, I was 18 and 19. It was a lot on me. It was a lot of stress trying to keep up with all of that. And on top of that, I was taking out loans. And if you know, it takes a while to pay back loans if you have a whole bunch of them. And they don't be playing. But yeah, my life changed drastically when I joined the Air Force. Mind you, I went from working full-time and going to school full-time to boom, I'm on my own. I was in the dorms. Well, you're going to be in the dorms unless you're married or whatever. I was in the dorms. I was able to get my own car, pay for my own car. They was paying for my insurance, my schooling, because I definitely never stopped school once I got in. Basically everything under the sun that an adult needs, they was paying for it. Except for I guess they was paying for my car note because they was issuing me the checks. But anyway, yeah, I felt so good after the fact. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my life has drastically changed from me having to work and go to school full time, struggling to get my own car. It's just like, anyway, it was a no-brainer for me. And it was even it was a no-brainer for me too when my little sister called me and was like, I don't want to be in school right now. What should I do? I'm like, come over here with me, join the Air Force. But anyway, yeah, it definitely changed my life because I have benefits practically for the rest of my life now that I've gotten out. And I can't honestly say that I didn't regret joining when I did. I always say, dang, I joined at 21 basically, but I wish I would have joined straight out of high school because I could have accomplished all this stuff earlier on in life and been out by then. But everything happens for a reason, and your journey is your own journey. Don't be trying to compare it to other people's, because that's I do that all the time. I think I got to 2020. I think that's when my class, no, 2018 is when my class started graduating college. I'm like, that should be me. Holding my diploma. No, just kidding. That should have been me up there on that stage. But at the end of the day, I was still going to school. So I was like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. And I think the what's the word? I think the misconception with the military is you signing your life away. Technically, I ain't gonna lie, I did sign my life away for 6 years, but them 6 years flew by, especially when COVID came around. I felt like from 2020 to 2022, I really don't remember nothing. I did get COVID, and that might be a part of that. I don't know, but yeah, it really flew by because 4 years came around, and then my 5th year came around, and they was trying to send me somewhere, but I was trying to get out. I'm like, dang, it's already been 5 years. It really went by quickly. My original plan, I got in the military. I wanted to go to nursing school. They have a nursing program. I think it's called the NECP, where you could go in commission and be an officer, but you do have to give time back. It's not like oh, I'm gonna become a nurse and I'm gonna have to get out. You do have to give time back, which at the time before I joined, I'm like, that's nothing. I don't really care. But once I got in, and then I got to my career, which I said was security forces, I started seeing things differently, especially when I became a staff sergeant. And I started to think stuff like, okay, yeah, I don't think I want to do this anymore. You do have the option to cross-train, but there's no guarantee you can get exactly what you want. So I knew for a fact, okay, I already got these credits. It's probably too late for me to do the NCP program by the point that I could do it. So I was like, I'm just going to take my chances and get out and become a nurse that way. Do I regret it? Sometimes. Then again, I'm like, I kind of like my life right now. Not saying. And don't think you finna join the military and just have your Camaro or your Charger or whatever, your Mustang, and just think that it's finna be chilling. It's chill time. Because they don't make you work for that. They don't make you work for the money. At least security forces, we was working for that money. I can't say the same for the rest of the base. But we was working for that money. Another misconception, people in the military, unless you an officer or you high ranking on a non-commissioned side, we not rich. Well, yeah, they're not rich. In my opinion, they pay you enough to support yourself. I know a lot of people that I've seen people in the military be like, I'm broke, I don't have any money, can you give me this, can you give me that? And I'm like, whoa, I don't make that much. People would be asking me for money when I got in the military. I'm like, how much money do you think I'll make? Especially, I was the A1C when I first got in. I'm like, how much do you think I'll make? Because it's definitely not what you think it is. When I was in the dorms especially, I budgeted a lot, so I saved a lot of money. I was meal prepping a lot. Because when you were at work, as a security forces member, when you were at work, you don't really always have the chance to go get something to eat unless you're on like patrol or whatever. But I meal prepped a lot. I kept snacks on me because I didn't really like eating fatty foods or fast food, especially when I was at work. Because if you know, you would be up in them gates or them towers or whatever, and you would be asleep. And now you're getting the handcuffs put on you. But yeah, I budgeted a lot while I was in the military because you go broke very quickly if you spend your money on the wrong thing. And where we were, it's like casinos around, so it's a lot of people gambling, and they definitely was throwing that money away. If you have kids, it's a good thing to do as well, but it can be hard, especially with deployments and TDYs and all that other stuff that come with being in the military. You will be gone at some point in time. There's no like, oh, I'm going to stay here. But anyway, I hate when the AC do that. They scare me up. But yeah, I think that joining the military is a very good tool, especially if you don't know where you're going in life, because it'll just give you some stability until you figure out like, oh, I guess I'll do this once I get out. You can set up a plan while having that stability in the background versus, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I don't have no money, I'm broke, all that other struggle that comes with trying to figure out what you want to do in life. And when I think about my reason of why I didn't want to join the military when I was like 18 or 19, I can't even remember why I kept saying I didn't want to join. Maybe I thought it was a death sentence, or really a life sentence, I should say. Or maybe I was scared that I was going to kill somebody. Because let me tell you, when I went to basic training and they started saying stuff like, put war heads on foreheads, I was like, whoa. I joined for school. But then you started having to play in the game, started playing the game, because they'll be like, are you ready to put war heads on foreheads? I'm like, yeah, maybe. No, I really wasn't. But then I was security forces, so they probably was like, yeah, you ready to get it together now, or we have to kick you out. Because they don't be playing about that tactical stuff at all, which is why my back broke now. But anyway, yeah, I was like, put warheads on foreheads. Wait a minute, let's get it back. I didn't think the Air Force did all of that. But then I started seeing like these videos, and I'm like, okay, maybe they do get a little bit of action. And I did have some moments where I was like, maybe this is not for me, and I should go to the NTI and be like, I need to go home. But while I was there, I felt like basic training was really fun, and so was tech school. I was laughing the first day of basic training while everybody was crying, because if you know, the MTIs, they be coming in there. MTIs are military training instructors, people that are not military watching this, but they come in there banging on the freaking lockers and yelling and stuff. And me and my friends that I made a basic training, we were just sitting there like trying not to laugh while everybody else was crying and stuff. Because I grew up with a military daddy. Like he might as well have been an MTI himself. He was so strict growing up, so he yelled a lot. And to me, when they came in there yelling, I'm like, nothing new. Oof, nothing new to me. I just sat there like, okay, let's get this stuff going. And I love my MTIs as well. But I feel like once I got over like that little hurdle, the first 2 or 3 weeks, everything else was smooth. This plane gotta go. But it just seemed like I was in band camp as well. I know, kind of lame, but I had played a few instruments throughout my life, and of course, I was one of the people, when they asked who played the instrument, I raised my hand not knowing why. I didn't know band camp was a thing until I was band camp. Band flight. I didn't know band flight was a thing until I was in the little rehearsals or whatever, and we was walking around with the instruments rehearsing, and I'm just like, what did I get myself into? But we got extra perks, so I'm not even gonna complain about that. I think I played the not the triangle. I played the cymbals. we was marching around playing those cymbals or whatever, but it was fun. At the end of the day, it was fun, and I definitely don't regret it. But yeah, that's besides the point. I got to my base, and I'm like, dang, like it just feels like, what do they call it? It felt like it felt like a mirage, because I had never lived in the South. I came from St. Louis all the way down to Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely different down here. Texas especially, I was like, Lord, what have I got myself into? But I put that as my number one base because I thought, ooh, I'm gonna be near New Orleans. I didn't do no real research, because they don't give you maps when you're in basic training for real. They give you like, maybe they do now, I'm not really sure, but they give you like the little list, and you see like what state it's in. But I'm like, ooh, I'm finna go here, I'm finna eat this and eat that. I'm finna be right near New Orleans. I'm nowhere near New Orleans. I don't even know the amount of time, but I'm up here, New Orleans is down here. But I think, yeah, Dallas is closer to Shreveport than New Orleans is to Shreveport. So I was in Dallas and in Houston a lot too, but whatever. You will get to travel while you're in the military. That's no doubt about it. You just gotta put yourself out there. I went to, where'd I go? First I went to Wyoming / Colorado. Then I went to, I think Hawaii was next. Yeah. Then I went to, I think I sat for a while. No, I didn't sit for that long. I went to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, because I don't really count these places, but we stopped in Germany and Bulgaria on the way. And then I also don't count this, even though we was kind of there for a day, half a day maybe. It was Maryland. Yeah, Maryland, South Carolina, North Carolina. But in between that, I was traveling on my own. So I was going to like Vegas. I went to Atlanta. I really don't count Houston and Dallas because they right here. San Antonio, Austin, because my sister was stationed in Lackland. Or yeah, she was stationed at Kelly, I think, which is next to Lackland. I went to Memphis. I didn't forget. I went to a whole bunch of places while I was in. But definitely travel is definitely a part of it. So if you like to travel, I definitely suggest putting yourself out there and putting yourself on the overseas listing. I didn't do that for a while because I think I was like afraid for some reason. But now I wish I did. Who knows if I would even be right here, right now, if I even put myself on the overseas listing, probably would still been overseas. Because that's how it is over there. Once you go over there, you really don't want to come back. I mean, who would want to come back here anyway? But yeah, if you want to travel, if you like to travel, you want to go to school for free, do you want your health care? Do you want your man back? No, just my Insecure fans know what that's from. But yeah, if you want to travel, go to school, get your healthcare insurance. There's so many benefits that I can't even name it right now. I have other things to say about the military and my journey, but I'm gonna do it in another video because I feel like if this gets too long, ain't nobody gonna watch the whole thing, no way. So